All right, and we are back and preparing for our second interview. Still trying to get our guests activated for the second interview of the day: food safety and packaging, Ghana street food for a tourist industry. To be honest with you, we are not just talking about a tourist industry. We're just talking about standards, period. Because if it's good for the tourists, it must be good for us too, Abi. Not be only tourists. And that's very something that's very typical of Ghanaians, right? We reserve the best for everybody else. And then, but yes, it should be across board. And to do that, we have invited a team of experts for the discussion. We have, and please give me a quick second, Ben. If you can hear me, please activate your camera. I can see you in the green room, newsroom. Police, please, if you can get Ben to activate his camera. I see him in the green room, but I don't see his camera activated. We will be very happy to start. Meanwhile, John Q has indicated that he will be joining us shortly. Now, afei so no yedi inkomono ma inkomono aye de. Meanwhile, your sister Lydia and so a war back stage or green room honor, and we are also waiting for one more guest. Then inkomono so na aye de. Enti mama mindi kan fa sister Lydia ambra ono aye ready. Enti yam for start. Na mama kan eba e jo mo abeka. Sister Lydia, akwa
Yeah, Eja.
me pacho etisen.
Kristo adume ho ye o.
Yo. Na ebusua no nyinaa ho ye.
Kristo adume obia ho ye.
Yeda CP. Me pacho introduce ho trend kakra. Aha so de e na America no kasa bia ye kan bi wo ha. Kasa bia Ghana 40 bia ye kan wo ha. Nti kasa bia wo ti bia obetimi aka no ha se ni na ye welcome. Me pacho pa da ho di e trend kakra me pacho.
Me pacho midin a obia ni me de Hawa. Hawa na obia ni me. Na me obi a me ye aduane ton. Me ye aduane ewo Jamase. Me ye aduane ton.
Yo. Me pacho of course me pacho. Twaso.
Nti and then my brother catch me say we say we ne me wo enkomo twetwe.
Papa.
Na me twen nti nyame adom na time na so a we dia frɛ no. Nti we de
Yo, Sister Hawa. Me friend Hawa. Eno eye me Iti me friend Sister Hawa. Yo, Sister Hawa, me pacho. Na eduane ben sa na oton. Na sen na oton no. It's like oton wo hemfa sa.
Me pacho me wo Asante Jamase. Me wo mampo bosofo na Asante Jamase na me wa me ye aduane no. Me ye banku. Me ye banku emutuo abetie fufuo me aduane a me ye no.
I see. Let us what chopper.
Me pacho an.
Oh, okay. Yo, na ochoba no aya obi aba ho abadi dia on free Ghana da.
Me pacho an.
Aya utanya ni papsa omoba ho on free Ghana. On pese obi ombeso Ghana aduane hwe bibi sa.
Me pacho an.
Omoba ya na eti omosen.
Me pacho omoba ya na omonije me nkwan no. Me ya kontomre nkwan ene prekese. Ensisa awa ne adwene. Ena me ye enkatie ye moade karo akukọ nantwinam ye moade enso enkwan eno ye nkatie no. Ene na me sa ye nkunumankwan eno me de ayoyo ne dawadawa enso na eye. Enti ema omo ye foforo no befrem mo mbedi a omo anije nkwan no omo anije pa aduane ne se de me ye no omba omo anije nti omo ba omo kamfo me bom abaso pa.
I see. Enti okay, enti aduane na say wo de na che obi ba ho ansa na oba bedide nya de a obi di gubi bi mu ade mani person fan kofia na bibiasa.
Me pa cho me ye bisa obo a oba otimika chem se opese wo jikofie na ye Ghana ha say na ofa wa winim say rubber sem na ewo ha nti me ye bi wo robem me chichire ma won na me di ahye take away mu na odeko ebi so firi baabi eba ebeto bi de ko nti mitimi ye bi saa ma wo mo de ko na omo a omo bedidi ho no so no eno de ya ayo na me yusu ewo ho ya ayo na me yusu ma wo edididi wo me choba ho
yo na ha ene ye person community na when ya faso e de chichire duane na say ye present duane no e de ma aho mo ba bedidi no obi a on free Ghana hampa wa boss you what is Sister Hawa nkwan bi ebias me ne uka say ya man for share from all over the world next time we'll be back to Mama Konko try some nkwan na Sister Hawa e kano enhwade but ya was standards bia ukọ wiase bia ye de hwe enoma bi ni ade se na be ye bia nipa ya na bibisa because bia de kra ye bi di o Ghana no na bia obi fofo di obi bia na de asafofo na eba enti bibi ti say ayowa no say mu use ni sa na mama fani say you started from anopapa wa sorry no sign na wo dey ni tie sign na wo sorry na wa kodum na so wa again sign na wo dey ni tie sa be di ebre a first customer be be say mayowa ni fufu tum mama
me pa cho meduma no me nkola me ne wo mo ye enti ye start free anopa 4:00 enti ebebo 8 no na ye wie ye duane no enti ubeba no ye table a ya sa ye nso a ahoho ne ba om de ba hohoro om nsa mi wo tissue da so a om wi a om de be pepa won nsa ye wo ye nso si ho a om ba om de cap ebese obi oha oba yen ese yen ya na ye serve won obi won so wono na ono abe serve no ho ena ye wo akakaduro makoni je ne nsusi ho a wo mo aba wo mo de tato so no wo mo atwi adidi ne garlic enso go ho nti no anapa no oba ne wo pese ye yema no se ada se obetwi mako ana asa won ontwi mako no oba aduane a wo pe no wo kira ne yate ama no na se ye da kusi ho ama no
enti mu sori ahomache ena mo ye aduane no ana ebreben ena aduane no ye ready
me pa cho aduane no ye ready 8
na chese mo sori ahomache ni nyina ye dwuma saa for 8 no aduane na aye ready
8 ni awie bibia
yo na mama bi sa asem nso samo ye na ye fa Ben enka discussion o Ben still me hu camera no but hopefully we can hear you at least because at least you tell cry na you be fan sir while we are waiting for Ben Sister Hawa member of studio say sorry anopa no makodwoma kototo ani ade na wo nkwan na wo ye no o de nkwan bonifa bibi recipe say recipe ne ti say nkwan ya fa so de ye bibi e bia say me ye cake a mefa esam say na ma fa method ni ade na de ye no mo de no choba for ne say na mo ye no wo nim wo na kire wo no a wo ma me kire wo no na edidi mu a wo ba ya wo danya ne kra ye kese ye nkwan a wo be ye me bo but say na mo ye no mo pese mo ye ne say de bia be taste the same na mo follow recipe bia na choba for
me pa cho me de no me dwa no ye nye bibia nsi ho anumre an nyina ye na nopa enti numre no ye di edwa ni nyina asi ho ye di dwa ni nyina asi ho enti enkate ye nkwan no ye di kan estimi nam no ye yam jene akakaduro na tomatoes na ye de estimi nam no awie ansana ye de enso na gumu ama na hu ansana ye atete nkate no agum na ye de duanum ama ni nyina anane na ansana ye de nsuo foforo agum asi so sana ye nkwan no
na de me pese me hunu se Fine beer. They be about Omo no moye adwuma ro kira mo say okay say mini home po no a enchine mo fa nchine say mo fa meko say mo fa ni say ana say ugya wona na wankasa no a wahwehwe meko na wankasa wodi woni ebubua na wapedi de egu na say na wo ye no
me pato da bi ye wo meko no enkwan dodo na ye no ye wo meko a ye twa ye niema no ye wo bibia ye di susu me ni wa me nkola ni timi ye susu ye bibia ye di ya ene no befa nti ya kire wo mu bibia ye di ye eho ye di ye nkwan no ya kire wo mu nti wo mu nim bibia wo mu de ye
nete se me ba ho ene na me bedidi a ekina mesa ba ho no duane a me ba bedi no ebe tasty at least say the same point ebe wo the ebe tasty to say the sane anwa me bedi no no a
say ye wo garlic no wo ho akakaduro no wo ho jene wo ho enti ye de sanyoma na ye de ye adwuma ni nyina kire nkola ne se tomatoes waste dudu se na wo fa ebetimi ne nkwan no aye pepepe enti no ye kire wo mu bibia ye kire wo mu enema ni nyina ye de ya ene nkwan no befa emro so ntine so ntwai mu
I see yo na me patrol pizza so mame na yenhwe say yebetimi yewra yaka ho a 1 minute
patrol
okay your retired food inspector from New York or ye Kratibia New York your omo round akwohwe say aduane a amanfo di no eho te eho ye pepepe ye 7 cents any ade no pepepe enti ye de ne be ka enkomode ni ho na ye di komo no amana de na ye friend John Quansah Mira John Quansah and here John every language is welcome, you know. If you feel like speaking English, please. But that's how it goes. In the meantime, no, before we start the next segment of the discussion, no, please give me 1 quick minute. Let's check this video out.
It's food safety reggae. It's food safety reggae now.
Okay, food safety reggae. This man loved his job so much that he actually went into the studio and produced a song about his profession, food safety. John Quansah, thank you very much for joining us on this discussion. Charlie, please tell us a little bit about yourself, John.
Mpocho wa frame John Parkwesi Samuel Babington Quansah. We fancy and creating a form again. But guess what? The beautiful thing about being a Ghanaian, a Ga and a Fanti, is it gave me the opportunity to understand the whole Ghana. Because Central region is interesting, Greater Accra region is interesting, and I did spend some time in Accra, Western region, and all that as a young man. But anyway, not to waste anybody's time, I'm popularly known as Inspector Quansah in New York State. A lot of people to know me as John Q as a musician. I dedicated 26 years of my life after university as a food safety inspector for New York State. I'm very passionate about food safety. We should not just eat to fill our belly, because it's easy to fill your belly, but it's also very easy to get sick after you fill your belly. I'll tell you something interesting. You know, for the 26 years I worked as a New York State food inspector, most of us inspectors, when we work in the field and we are tired, we cannot eat most of the foods out there. We cannot drink most of the things out there. Even the water we drink, we don't just drink any water because we worry about plastic. We worry about a lot of things. We don't live to eat. We eat to live. I worry about a lot of things. I worry about a lot of. You talk about food packaging is one of our biggest problems, especially in the third world and Ghana, even here in America. Back in the days, I couldn't have done this interview with you because I was still working for the government. Now I'm retired and I could speak my mind a little more. But for what will it benefit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? I worry a lot when I'm in Ghana and even I look about food packaging. So anyway, now let me keep quiet and you throw the questions.
Well, I just need you to tell us a little more about what your impressions are there about organic banana. We want to focus on street food.
Yes.
Right? We want to focus on street food. So
yes.
we're talking about packaging for a tourist market. Now, obviously, what is good for a tourist market should also be good for the locals. So we are talking general terms.
Yes.
That's what I mean. What is your general impression? So, food, Ghanaian street food, looking at it from a tourist perspective.
Okay. I've lived in New York for 34 years. And when I go to Ghana, I get a cultural shock because I've been away for a while. Not saying we are better than them over there, but science is science, irrespective of what part of the world you live in. My biggest concern, to dive straight into the subject. Number one, you're packaging foods with too much plastic. I hope whoever is listening to me could listen to this well and carefully. We're packaging foods with too much plastic. Growing up as a child in Adabraka and even Tessa and Cantonment and all that, we used to eat wache in leaves.
Yes.
And as a biologist, eating food from a leaf, unless it's a poisonous plant, which I know the plantain leaf and the corn leaf that we use to package foods are not poisonous. All of a sudden, Ghanaians have taken a sudden love for things in rubber and plastic. And it sickens me. I'm sorry. It's sickening.
You're talking about the banku that we wrap in the rubber?
The banku, the fufu, the cocoa, the Tom Brown, all that thing. Now, rubber, no today. Na Iriana born. Hunu and Chalet. And the sun rays, the sunlight is piercing heat. And all that heat is releasing PVC, polyvinyl chloride, into the foods. Even here in America, it's a lot of people that don't even drink plastic bottled water. And sometimes when I tell people things I saw as a food safety inspector for New York State, it would be as if I'm creating panic. And I'm not in that business. But I cannot be like the ostrich that will bury its head in the sand and say nothing is happening.
Apart from the plastics, what else have you seen that disturbs you about Ghanaian street food?
Okay, temperature abuse. Here, okay. Any product that contains meat, fish, eggs, poultry should not be out of heat or refrigeration for more than 4 hours. Somebody cooks food and leaves it out there for 8 to 10 hours all day. So the thing about bacteria growth, when food is out of temperature, food should always be either on fire or in a refrigerator, period.
Interesting. Please repeat that.
Food should always be on fire in the oven on a hot plate, a steam table, or should be refrigerated, period. There's no...
Or in my stomach.
Yes. So if somebody cooks wache or mutu and sits it out there for 8 hours all day, after 4 hours, there's bacterial growth going on. And for those who are immunocompromised, those who are going through chemotherapy, those who have other issues, underlying issues like AIDS, HIV, and all that, they could die from food poisoning. Food poisoning is real. When I go to Ghana, every time I get food poisoning. All my friends from New York, what about Ghana, when you're food poisoning? In sunu cry, ice the crampo, I numen san crampo na, mejafu. People don't even realize how much bacteria grows in ice.
Interesting. John, Bisa, Sister Hawa, some quick one. Now, Sister Hawa, John can't something about and nam say a pie a chair a kind of like a year contaminated near idea. Say Mode bar and I'm Benoit, and I say Mode chef fridge when I say send a ya mutriti monam no trouble for.
Me pacho yanam no wo fridge wo ho a ye digum na of the bar ade chen ya na ye fa humu ansi ho ma ni 3 days kra ye be use no a day na ye de ba ye koma yanka na yakoje e de abanti ye use a ade chen a no asan de fofora bre ye mfa na mu fridge mu nsi wonche.
I know you're meat and fish now, and I will so you see fish. Now, in Remunam soil, any be a smoked meat in the fish, so I know so.
Fish, no, ye were there or not to Tomayan anopa na or to Tomayan, yen tonsi ho, ye BBI, yen tonsi ho. I didn't know cry, or would free a drop bar. There ye bear you soon a day na any edgy.
Oh, yo. Okay. Yen sign call John Q. Hobio. John, so you're talking about temperature compromises and stuff like that. Where do you see that happening in Ghana?
90% of people selling wache, rice, whatever, the food is not sitting on a steam table. It's just sitting in a pot, sitting outside. In America here, we don't allow that. You can't make wache and just leave it in a pan and dish it out for people and stew all day without it being on fire. That's the point I'm trying to make. We don't sell food at room temperature. And that's something that's so hard for Ghanaians to understand and accept. Even here in America, we go to Ghanaian places and we throw all their food in the garbage. Because you have wache stew sitting outside. It's not on fire. That's the point I'm trying to draw there. I heard what she said loud and clearly. They refrigerate it before they cook it. But after you cook it, you have it sitting outside. Look at how sensitive eggs are.
I was going to ask you about that. Next day, when I want what's your fruit?
It's a problem. Both fruits cramp on your problem because when they're both fruits or a salmon cooking.
It's like like a.
But open in chefua namaya cho. Na the men zamana mejafo. Farm make for crown and meat pie and coffee now. What ride the bike now? What on farm make na meat pie no? Poison cooking now was in my microphone. Look at that box. How hot it gets.
Explain that. Yes. The fun milk, yogurt.
That is the worst thing that happens in Ghana. And I dare anybody to come and challenge me about that. That is the most sickening thing. Meat pie contains meat. It's a potentially hazardous food. You're talking meat, growth of E. coli. After 4 hours, E. coli is growing at 10, for every 10 degrees rise in temperature, E. coli is growing at about 50%. You see, the human body can tolerate a certain amount of bacteria, everything we eat has some level of filth and bacteria. Don't get me wrong about that. But there's a threshold. So for somebody to sit on bicycle, not on meat pie the whole day, compared to here in New York, Crampo. So you make meat pie, you have fan milk. That fan milk contains milk. And you're riding it in the hot sun all day. It's not refrigerated. And then I'll talk about Nkofuna what on Asana Nonson.
Also a problem. I thought Donald in cold today.
Yes, but remember, most of the time the ice they are handling, they're not handling the ice properly.
But you've drawn my attention to some things. So with this ice that is served at bars, for instance, because normally when you go to a bar and order a drink, and you're not thinking of that at all for most people.
I know.
Emma, but let's ask Sister Hawa one quick question. Sister Hawa, John Egg had something about a hot check a cranny adeno. Mohono himself for most trouble and quite they just for the most part. It's just until Sebesan. Right now, ebia emutu ni ade ni de semutimi bogu ho any ade ana
me pacho me de ne de metiti gu pan mu na me de ahye agimunti ehyo no ginamu akosi Sebesan me de me mo metiti gu adiem.
Okay, entiegu pan and a rubber
ekata so timidi shem ti ehyo no ginam.
Yo, no, John, you were saying something about that. Now, me per se, rope into your reaction. No, what an alternative would be for that, please.
The proper way to do it, Oshona Ojine is not more than 140 degrees Fahrenheit, because you're literally depending on ambient temperature. Because you cooked it hot, you're depending on ambient temperature to keep it warm. It's only keeping it warm for the consumption, for it to feel warm, not cold, but not at the temperature where bacteria growth would be halted. That food should be maintained at a minimum of 135 degrees Fahrenheit. So you cooking it hot and putting it in plastic, covering it with plastic and keeping it warm, does not still ensure food safety.
But John, there's something like banku, right?
Okay.
You can eat it.
Yeah, because banku is and beautiful. I love that question. I thank you. You are a well-educated man. I know that, and I have high respect for you for that. And the interesting thing, you're not even a scientist. You're a journalist and more into the arts world. But that's a very interesting science question. You see, banku is made of starch and carbohydrates only. It's made from corn. Corn is shelf stable. It does not have to be able to make banku outside for 3 days. And the worst thing that can happen to banku na dokno is fungal growth.
Yeah.
And that type of fungal growth can be beneficial to the gut.
I see.
But when it comes to emutuo, you're talking rice. Rice has a heavy bacteria associated with it called bacillus. Bacillus, and you bet a jemu outside after a certain amount of time. Is that yarbabacho? Yes, you can leave banku outside for 3 days, 5 days, and chop it, no problem. But you can't play that with emucho because of the rice.
Okay. Now, Robert, now what's the kata? What would be an option for? Because this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to have this discussion to see if we can transition. Some of the best.
They have to. It's not even if they. We have a medical system that is not up to par with the world, right? So for us, when it comes to primary health care, food safety is primary health care. Because the issues associated with food safety initially, it's all microbiological. It's on a micro level. You don't see it. But over the years, it will transform. So what are the options? I'll give you three, 4, 5 different options. Our great-grandfathers and our grandfathers and grandmothers were 10 times more intelligent. I don't know what's wrong with what Ghanaian food industry is doing. And I'm sorry to talk like that. One of the reasons, you know me and about my thing with Ghana, I don't usually go to Ghana. And I always go and I come with a shock and frustration. Because the philosophy there is, oh, this is what we have to do to get through. But I don't think that is a godly way to go. Young grandfathers and grandmothers and great-grandfathers, they were wrapping the foods in leaves. Corn leaf is an option. Plantain leaf is an option. Right? Metal. One day I was at a Accra restaurant. I saw this family. They came to order their food. And they bring their own metal pots. They don't even have them scoop the hot soup into the plastic for them. But we have to revert back to divine order, what our fathers and grandfathers were doing.
Okay.
The plantain leaf and the corn leaf are our biggest option. I don't know of any other leaf that could be used right now. But we plant corn.
All effects that can keep food warm. But let me ask you, and before I ask, let me ask Sister Hawa again, real quick. Sister Hawa, what's what the grow up and nobody take away, right? Choba no kran to chen kakra na se say ye invite other guests and came some so be any baba be come on. Green one for some reason the camera need to member so until we dey obey ya no ama ye kakra.
Me patch you.
Who say almost so a day omo nye choba na bia omo ye aduane o bia kwanchen na the kiosk kakra bi si ho no ye bia fried rice omo ye sa no no. Ade na hu so mo de ton omo aduane no se na hu so mo ye no.
Me patch eya me hu say omo wo take away bowls ni bi. Eno na omo de tete aduane ni gum. Na omo de ahye rubber mu. Amai.
Okay. Now that leads me to my question for you, John. Cellophane, right? In your cellophane, what's the side in your friend is saying?
The plastic bowls.
The plastic, we say no. Styrofoam is the word I'm looking for. Okay. Styrofoam, no. Is it a good option? Say the best service.
You know something? It's still up for debate. Even here in New York State. It's still up for debate. Just like the people wrap banku in cellophane, because I brought that option up, that issue up in our office. And up to now, nobody was able to give me a definite answer. But I know one thing for a fact. We live in a world that when you doubt something, if there's not a definite answer, stay away from it. Think about it. Our forefathers used to eat these things all these years. The level of cancer and hormonal, and even for the PVC, coming back to plastic. When the plastic gets hot, it emits PVC into the foods. PVC interferes with hormonal functions. It's a fact. It's not a speculation or a postulate or a theory or a hypothesis. Right. So for me, left to me alone, if Ghanaians can focus more on wrapping foods in corn leaves and plantain leaves, and also maybe we can encourage our people to try when they're buying foods, maybe to come with their own containers, because people are doing it here in America already.
Yeah, but at the same time,
it's for somebody walking on the street.
People on the move.
I know. Right? And it's difficult. I see what you're saying. Again, let me give you an example. There are containers, right? And we may have to look up to China for that. I'll give you an example. We even have containers that are made of cardboards.
I was going to ask about that.
I inspected a health food place owned by Algerians in Rockland County. They don't put anything in plastic. Even their rice and chicken and everything, it comes in a cardboard box. So apart from the plantain leaf and the corn leaf, we can go card box.
Okay.
You remember back in the days when we used to drink the fine milk in a card box, and within it there's a cellophane
lining
material which is non-reactive.
Okay. All right. Yo, yeah, but wrap it up conversation very soon. But yeah, I got a few more where I did so answer. Sister Hawa, answer na ye beto aso. Ye bisa obi say me bisa say amanfo fi baby, amanfo for so ne ade aba be didi wo ho ne ade a what extreme say bibisa esi ne ade.
Me patron.
Incident bi a obi aba wo ho say bi a anas what bibi say bi a obi di bibi a efri wo ho a eno nti no wenya oha kakra bi ana bibi sai sida
Me patron there bi see that.
Yo, but what bibi sa efi other places choba for ne ade what bibi sa ada
Me patron me ade me nyan TV.
Yo, maybe some Esan said last year was about 2 years ni yet a news be of mamibia or popular place be a man for kodi or hosa so be kodi or honma the onya hub kakrebi emma and no coco fan same p anybody bibi says I say we san say o share in some a see any more pa year na a year a bit a simple case of their John can be right ebia meet bi see what say too much a man pani yam kokoye ni bibi so na man fa ko fa ni bibi foforo kra all together oh da me say oh na ho ni person aye aduane wo sa na yam bisa something about licensing say wo ye wadwin say wo be no aduane a edien ehhye na wo be hia ansana wa sha say ne ma sorry minim say minim aduane ye pa be a teacher but me teacher na fno me decide say mekwa koton aduane edien hyehyɛ na wo hia edien license na wo hia anasa wo sorry abetimi woduane na edane nko ade betimi asɔre na wakɔ akɔbɔ kiosk wo baby na wa hyɛ say aton aduane
Me patron there bi me patron ya ha no ye ma ye kɔ ye lab e test ye moja ne ye yi nyina ansa na omo am ya start ya adwuma no omo ma ye mfiti preko penye ti sɛ wo omo ba na wonni ayi e kyerɛ sɛ sasa wo ye aduane na ye kyew.
I see.
Aye.
I see. And omo ye adwuma no omo wo employ omo nyinaa so ye ma omo so
obia ye ne card. Aye.
Ntina te sɛ Ghana say ye aduane ho adwuma by all means also unya card also ye pass through testing ne ade ni nyinaa sana opa kire
me patron.
That's quite encouraging. John, what's your reaction?
Well, I'm impressed to hear that, and I'm surprised to hear that, because if they do all that, then they're actually more advanced than here in America, because here in America, we don't even do that.
Interesting.
We only do that if there's an outbreak. We've had a situation before where people ate in a restaurant, everybody got sick. So they tested workers and they found out that it came from a worker. So on that note, Ghana is ahead of us. But where Ghana is lacking lacking as compared to us is they don't enforce the laws properly. Because realistically, in Crawford Bromoton watch it roadside now, watching a sit table, so no and namne stew no sit table. So now Koshuano or glass box, no monis no. You can't do that here. It won't fly. It's impossible. America will not allow that in any state. That food should be on fire till the food is finished.
John, I was in Australia, right? I lived in Australia for a while, and there was this law that quite shocked me because one of my jobs was like working in a mall, and there was this Ghanaian guy who was, supervising the mall, And one thing that he told me about that I got to find out there, all the places that make food that have bread, not the bread that they wrap up and sell in the supermarket, but bread now, where you for something like sandwiches, bread that is made for pizza, bread that is made for, it cannot be consumed after 24 hours. And so you make the bread after, at the end of the day, all the stores in the mall that deal with that type of bread, they pile it in bags and throw it out in the trash.
Yes.
So the regulation is that you can't eat that bread. You can't sell it at the very least. I mean, if you made it and you want to eat it, that's your business, I guess. But you can't sell it, And I'm sure there are regulations like that all over, including in New York where you work and stuff like that. Tell me, you have inspected Ghanaian stores in America.
Right.
What are some of the most shocking things that you found inspecting Ghana in America?
Okay, the most shocking things I find in Ghanaian restaurants and Ghanaian supermarkets. I actually was the one that made FDA put a hold on suya powder in the whole America. And a lot of Ghanaians hated me for that, and they hate me till today, but I don't care. And let me tell you the reason.
Tell us.
Something like suya powder. Suya powder is predominantly made of peanuts. Peanuts is an allergen in America.
For most people, for a lot of people.
Yes. And they don't declare it. So you a Ghanaian, you might go to an African party with an American friend and you get them kebab. And they have peanut allergen. They eat that kebab and you see their face and their lips swelling.
Yeah.
And they have to be rushed into the hospital immediately.
Yeah.
Ghanaians don't care about that. So I was the one. People actually had their containers of suya powder returned back to Ghana from FDA to relabel it and let the public know that it contains, because this is the law. Any product that contains 10 parts per million of peanuts has to be labeled. And guess what?
Even products that are produced on the same plant that produces peanuts. Even
that's
if
that's another whole story. Now you're opening a can of worms. Because they're using those same machines to grind pepper, kokonte, Tom Brown. So I even started on that. And even my department was like, wow, John, we don't know when you're gonna finish this thing, because we're taking it to a further level. So that's good. Cross-contamination.
Let me ask Sister Hawa one thing real quick, and then we'll come back to you again. What did I do? I moved her from. So, Sister Hawa.
Yes, that.
Okay, yo. Enti, mami bisa asamba kususu. Something like any idea. Na same way titi say no obako na omokofo bi de sudi ni no bi fra ni no ma no.
Which is true.
Samo ye aduane no a bebi amoto mo no ma fi no. Aya mo hwehwehwehwe saa no ma no say bia ye nto enwo ni mfi obi a wa frefre mu ana no ma bi saa no. Mo hwe saa no ma no.
Me pacho ye abe no ye nkwan na ya sani no. Say ye okro stew na ye nkoto dwomu die ni bi. Ye abe na ye no nkwan no na ye sani no.
I see.
Nti me de no bi de me ntobi.
Oh, good. Na ena unton bi se dokno. Wan kasa na wo ye wa wo banku ni bibia me bo.
Me pacho an.
Okay, yo. And yeah, I mean, besides John, in New York, for instance, you see there, some of the Ghana stores, the palm oil they were importing. Me personally, I was very frightened. Like palm oil.
Can I tell you the truth? They add coloring to it. They add coloring to make it red. We have that as a fact. They add coloring to it. Some of the coloring even contains potassium permanganate, which is not too edible. So some of them add coloring to make it appear very red. it can be difficult to determine with the physical eye. That can only be determined in the laboratory. But I'm sure with time and experience, you probably should be able to tell when palm nut looks so red, it should be questionable.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things we have that concern us from the Ghanaian community. The other two things I'll mention before this show ends, because those are pressing to me more than anything. Kanwe, which is used as a tenderizer
or to soften stuff.
Yeah, tenderizer, right?
Tenderizer, yeah.
It's full of lead, and it's full of lead. I tested Kanwe. We ban it. It's banned here in America.
Hold on. You're saying that the Kanwe in itself, anywhere in the world, has lead, or the Kanwe that was imported here in America that you tested has lead?
Well, the whatever came here in America that we tested that was found with lead and heavy metals, cadmium, arsenic.
Golly.
That is exactly the same one they are eating in Ghana. You can't tell me they are only shipping the ones that contain lead and arsenic here.
No, we actually ship out the best. So if the one here has lead.
So Kanwe is definitely a big culprit. I wouldn't eat any food with Kanwe in there. Another thing, ayelo that the pregnant women eat is full of lead. It's full of lead, and you're feeding it to a baby whose brain development, the last thing the baby's brain needs is lead. Ayelo should be banned in Ghana overnight.
John, how about kenke? The kenke that is sold to us here in America. What do you think about that?
My problem about kenke sold us to here in America, number one, most people are secretly and illegally doing it from their apartments and their homes. And there are times when we health officials raided some homes and we found kenke being fermented, the dough being fermented in bathrooms. Wow. Because there's no space in the apartments.
Wait, in a bathroom, like how?
They have the buckets of this thing because there's no space. You know how it is in New York, where people are literally doing their aflata in buckets. They're covered, but they're sitting in the bathroom. Now, the other thing, the first thing we learn as a health or food inspector is any food that is processed in a home is not accepted to be sold to the public.
So if that's the case, how do we get our shito in the Ghana stores?
Right now it's only 6 people that are legal to make shito into the Ghana stores. And
the whole of America?
Yes, the whole of New York.
New York, okay.
Only about 6 people are licensed to do it. Most people are doing it illegally from their homes. And the problem with the state is that if you're making a product from your home to bring to the public, it's a no-no because there's no inspector that comes to that home to inspect that home. There's nobody watching to see how you're doing things. So that's one of the problems we have. But what happens is that when the inspector finds out, we destroy everything and we give the summons to the store. So now it's up to the store owner to say that, okay, I'm not going to take it from you. The other problem with kenke, I'm worried about the way they wrap them in plastic and aluminum. Most of the time, even you open, you see the aluminum inside, the heat, now we tree aluminum, now I turn it black. I'm telling you, I'm sorry to say this or to scare anybody, but as a Ghanaian in America, sometimes staying away from Ghanaian foods from the public is one way to protect your health, because most of the food production that we're doing from our community is poor. And I've never been liked because I speak the truth. I'm a health inspector. I'm the authority. They see me as the authority. I'm not loved. But again, I'm not here to please people. I'm here to do what is right.
Wow. Interesting. Charlie, because of the time, it's the best schedule part 2. This discussion, we haven't even scratched the surface at all. At all.
Yes.
But before
and I want to encourage all Ghanaians listening to this, and also Madam, please, we didn't bring you here to put you on trial. Don't take it in a negative way. It's an educational program whereby even if you learn one thing from us, and if we also learn something from you, we can understand. There was a time I was in Ghana with my sister. She had a drink. The ice that they put in the drinks, when we got home and she was sick, I told her, it's the ice they put in your drink. And she was like, whoa, Pakwesi, a health inspector. Because ice grows a lot of bacteria. Think about it. If you did the ice with water from the tap that is already contaminated, do you think freezing the ice is going to kill the bacteria? No. So you might be drinking your shot of Hennessy or Akpeteshi, whatever.
Akpeteshi on rocks.
Yes, but the rocks can rock you. So you see, even the water that we drink, we have to be careful. It's so much foodborne illnesses out there that we have to be aware of what we put into our body. Because for me, for instance, I hate to get sick, because when I get sick, number one, it interferes with everything. Why should I go and buy food and eat and get sick?
Yeah.
So, Madam, I want you, when you leave this place, I beg you, I was there a fridge man out there is a jado throughout. And pedo obiba bizizi wa wonche no waka there menya yareba because of his buying ya mekezi. No sell business. So for me, I'm gonna leave you with a few things. You're selling food, and I know doing business in Ghana is not easy. You're not making a lot of money, you're just making a living. It's challenging. But I beg you, every time you put out food, think about it. Is this thing gonna make somebody sick? Says Bani Sabuano for a long time. While Esha is bankrupt or say using your nose alone is one of the biggest instruments you can have to check for food safety. Like rice, when it starts going bad, it becomes slimy. Fufu, it becomes funny. The texture changes. So for me, what I tell everybody, you should be your own inspector before the government, before town council comes. You check the food and say to yourself, if I'm not going to eat this, I shouldn't sell it to anybody.
Basically.
We are limited with our resources. I understand that. But let us be mindful. Let us be cautious. Don't fry eggs and leave it outside all day. You echo circle day. Now watch your trophy. Be great. That bronze. No, so hot day. Oh, nice. But it's out of temperature. And look at the temperature in Africa. Here in New York, you can get away with that because right now, as we're talking, the temperature here in New York is about 50 degrees. Wintertime is going to fall all the way down to 30 degrees, which is freezing temperature. So if you have food, sometimes I even have boiled eggs in my car because the temperature is less than, it's freezing. It's frozen. Here, sometimes New York, a giant so a car, no, I freeze.
Freezing, yeah.
Now, when Ghana is different, or today has summer. So we should watch temperature, we should watch food packaging, and then the most important thing, hand washing. Washing the hands consistently is number one. Because sometimes you can handle raw chicken, and if you don't wash your hands and you go and give somebody wache right away to eat, you're giving the person salmonellosis. So washing hands as often as possible, maintaining our food in good temperatures. And instead of plastic, we can have the alternative of corn leaves, plantain leaves, and card boxes. So this is the summary. I hope that whoever is listening to this program took a little lesson out of what I'm talking about. Don't leave your bottle of water in Ghana in your car all day and drink it. It's no good. The temperatures cause PVC to emit into the water. Those who carry pure water in the plastics all day out there in the burning sun, it's no good. I'm not spoiling anybody's business. I want everybody to make money, but let's make money the healthy and the most proper way.
Yes, because this whole discussion is to really rethink how we package our food for not just ourselves, but for the tourist market as well. Let's give Sister Hawa her last words. And John, I'll give you the very last word. But let's give Sister Hawa her last words before we wrap it up. Sister Hawa, Bedasepa say Winyambre na Wunea Kasa. What's going on? Is she frozen? I see.
Yes, for a minute she's frozen.
It looks like she's frozen. Okay. All right. So let's take Sister Hawa off, and if she reactivates the camera, we can bring her back on. But John, so final words. I think that you did justice to the final words. Actually, what you just did qualifies for your final word. But what recommendations would you have? Let me put it this way. My very last question, and let's wrap up the show with that. If Ghana was to take a bold step to revolutionize the way we preserve food, and let me give you this short story as a precursor to the question. Back in Legon, one of my schoolmates had a project about weighing scales, and he asked us to go and back him up. We sent the project to the market to go and teach them the benefits of weighing scales versus tomatoes 5 for 2 cedis. We were chased out. The market women didn't want nothing at all to do with the weighing scales. That's what I'm saying here. There, if we decide to bring a revolution in how we do things, will it be accepted or not? Let me start with Sister Hawa. Sister Hawa, the common baby. Now, Mami Bissau, as we go, what did he say? Say about Abaya because say no, and no be a fire diane hono, and yet ye baba system kakra, say bia, Robert Mobia and Robert Toma Debio, Mobia, say, sign and a more to me and mobile general.
Me pacho near a basa. Ye beko ye titi ye the body a high na titi na ye de se
yes
and no woman ye de made the bay.
Me da was.
Yeah, man, I stylish kakrama, obi crafty man on the board, no who ye, what you say, one cassa crowd combat or who aduane gu haimo and nasi bi and the woman says some hands and a salmon flavor bio and
ye pa habani de na boy na
and
habani ye.
And Ray, I nominate me up in ye cancer, near can't fancy doc nubia, you saw or more fancy doc nubi, and your regular one on the leaves, plantain leaves near no, your back could be or more different type of flavor. Now leaf the tone, I'd say pin, no with the rub document until you document, so you said, and man, some unique
flavor,
but and then come on, I the Sister Hawa, with us, your best afro you. Na ya money so na asa be kono fa wo nsema e twatwo kra atuja na yen so na fe baby a wo na omo hwe efi wiase nyina omo bedu Ghana omo say aha na Sister Hawa e wa me ko ho akwa akodi Ghana no
Me pa mo chaw de di kan me so medam asepa mama mani age ama manya nkranhye bi ama mani aba bibi so se ade bi wo ho kra na me ye na enya metimi asesa se ebi afoforo bi nso baba behu se ade a meye no eno nye medam asepa de di kan awrade nhira mo se mo amemanya anije wo na de etoso mienu nso no ne meka kire ye ne ye aduane nyina mawiase nyina obi abedi bi ne se esese ye aduane na ye ma hote yema aduane no hote a minim se ye nkwatentin nyina afri aduane a ya yedi mu ye ya esese ehote ne eye aduane no se wo manam ne nsi ho nche
yes
enkwan no so ensese wo ye mani si ho se wo ya amade ache ansa na sika wo penti open intentem. Yes, sorry, there be a was a yen and opana.
Fresh.
Yen nam so a ye be yen so a say ye fresh. Say, would you free there was a water to hona, a beer tia, and ma would the year the cry a come. Fridge be no crown and why ain't tis a minute a basse. Yet the bayer diania, my yenina, ya what to yenya, as I say a toto. Na ye disi wana no pana ye. Enti Madam Wasipa.
Yo, that's it. John Q.
Yes.
Your last words. Now, your fan sorry, so that's it.
My last word, Sister Hawa. I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you. Say, Jumana awoye no fa odonye. Yes, with the odonye Juma, it means na ho. Sika nye bibia odon na ema sika ba. Ema anije any ahun cancel ba. Nti yeso ye da wase. Obi a otie show ye mepamocho eya monko support sister mame. Me so me ba Ghana me ba be fa ho, but me meduane na say we ye no special. Because why you special? You better won't come on radio so.
Obeba no cook the inspector, no man or the inspector would be your Yo, this is our that's John Q. Also say that's
yes, and thank you for hosting us. God bless you, my brother.
And God
love
bless
you.
Welcome.
Yo, you're the MCP. Okay, Mama, Yafa, wait, and sorry.
Bye bye.